Hey everyone, welcome to the Do the Thing podcast. This is your host, Stacey Lauren. All right, guys. Well, my adventure of growth and evolvement continues because I met my next guest in a program that I'm currently in where I'm converting Do the Thing into a business. And she's on the weekly calls with me, and we get to, I guess you could say, grind together with all the different things that are happening in the program and all the growth points that come up as you go through something new and challenging and something that you know you want to do from the deepest part of your heart and the thing that lights you up. And so it's been amazing to be on these community group calls with her. And I'm just so excited to get a chance to talk to her directly through this interview and be able to find out more about her story and how she started her brand, her company, what motivates her, and all the good things that come along with doing the thing. So I'm so excited to welcome Katie to the show. Hey, Katie.
Hi, it's so great to be here.
I am so excited. This is going to be so much fun.
I can't wait to talk. It's just like talking over coffee.
Exactly. Oh, I should get my coffee. Well, I'd love to just start off and have you share about you and your story.
Sure. Wow. So I guess it's probably a little bit over 11 years ago. Me and my husband, we were just married and we were trying to figure out what did we want to do in life. And starting a business was one of those journeys that we were willing to take on, which they said if you knew everything now, you wouldn't start, but it's fine. It's everything's fine. It's worth it. So we decided he was a carpenter by trade. I went to college, did public relations, minor in sports studies, and then I actually went to cosmetology school because I was like, why not just add that to the list and do? But really our motivation was being able to craft a family business where we could work together, raise a family at the same time. So that was the main goal. And with this carpentry background, he started building furniture on the side. And slowly but surely, we started to build that, started to sell to a lot of shops, a lot of mom and pop shops, traveled around, did a lot of shows. And then from there, we decided to take our business online and offer our handmaids and other goods with that rustic, primitive, country type feel. So we transitioned online and have been just having the fun of figuring all that out because the online world is very different and shipping everything. There's been so much to have learned over the years, but it's a journey that has been, like anything else, ups and downs, but worth it in the long run. So that's kind of where we're at today, and then been a part of joining all of these online communities that help entrepreneurs come together, business owners come together, where you can meet up, get together, and have collaborations and just talk about issues and topics of what's going on in your business, what's working, what's not working. Do you have any ideas? Or I tried this, try that. It's really neat to see it come together because you find that you can't always talk to everybody about, like, friends or family that aren't necessarily, they're not running the business and they're not in these day-to-day adventures. So it's nice to have a community of people who have similar situations going on and that it can help you through certain situations and help keeping you push to do the thing, right?
That's perfect. It's so true. I find that a lot. And this is actually a piece of the Do the Thing formula, which is the M and I'm game, which is my people. And it's really being around people that are doing the same thing as you, that want the same thing, because that's where you get that community and the connectedness that you need to be able to grow and also really have a safe place to fail too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Agreed. 100%.
And it's different than the 5 people you're around, because the 5 people you're around are supportive, encouraging people that want the best for you, but they don't necessarily have to be doing the same thing as you. But it's such a different way to look at it. But it's cool when you can find those places where you're able to evolve in that way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Definitely. And I love the connection that you can get from people all over the country, right? Or even the world. And it's amazing to get different perspectives. And these are people that I would have never met, probably going through, like, you would have never met them along the way. And it's just neat to see. And I have friends now all over the country. So when we do go visit places or something, it's like you can meet up with them and it's just, they get it and they understand it. And you can some days and just be like, I'm having a day. And they will just be able to help go through troubleshooting any issues you have. Or they also help celebrate when you have a crazy good day, and they can really understand what that is and what that means. It's really fun.
Yeah, you're actually making me think. I don't know if I've connected the dots on this before, but by you doing the thing, you're getting a chance to meet so many new people and get connected in just such a deep way that you wouldn't have had an opportunity before you were doing the thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So much. And then I just look back at all of the growth and everything that I've been scared to do, to put myself out there, to put even a podcast like this. It's taken a while to build up that confidence and the courage to do it, right? Maybe I think allowing yourself to do things scared is a big thing. I've had many talks with myself where it's like, all right, it's okay. You're nervous, but so what? I'm just going to I pretend it's on my shoulder and I just flick it off. I'm like, just get out of here. We're going to keep going forward.
I haven't thought about that before. Just flicking that thing off, because then it's a visual of you being able to just release in a way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I'd love to share more about your company. So it's Red Fox Primitives, right?
Yes. Yes. So we specialize in the rustic farmhouse primitive look. I think of the song "I Was Country" when country wasn't cool, because I'm like, we started this before the big farmhouse type and everything came to everywhere, and everybody's talking about it. I'm like, man, we've been doing this. So we have specialized in making new furniture, designing new pieces, and making them look old and worn. So everybody loves a good antique piece, and sometimes you can't find them, right? Or sometimes that they are so astronomically priced that you're not going to be able to afford it. So we really tried to find the balance in bringing in the old look with useful pieces that you're still going to use in your home today. And it's trying to mix in the styles of your country home, your rustic, primitive farmhouse. So it's anything for that simple country life, keeping it simple, keeping it warm, welcoming. I just want everybody to feel at home when they do come to our home. Just give them a big hug and make them feel relaxed and welcome. That's always been the goal of how we kind of decorate. And that's what I think the pieces that we design reflect that. And it's just helping to bring that authenticity to all across the country.
Well, I love that, because when you're in your home, I mean, that is the space that you want to almost make it as your retreat, right? So regardless of what's going on or what's spinning or what's working well or not working well, it's like that safety and that protection that you have when you're home.
Yes, absolutely. There's just that feeling when you walk in the way, even smell, whatever that last candle that you burned or the wax melt that you had in, it just smells like home. It feels like home. And it's you. It's pieces of your journey. It's pieces that have maybe been handed down to you. I have things that I cherish. My dad, who passed 5 years ago, there's things that he gave me before he passed, and I will always decorate with them. And they've actually helped inspire us to design other products similar to it. And it's just a way to kind of keep reminders of him around, right? Mm-hmm. It's so neat. Trying not to tear up, but
yeah, it's so beautiful. I'd love to hear how it started, because your husband's a carpenter, and so did he start making the pieces? Is that how it started?
Yes. Yeah, he started building. He is one of those, you can give him, here's this picture, here's the measurements I'm thinking of, build it, and he will go and just have it done. It's amazing to me how his brain calculates everything. It's so good. It's funny because he's very meticulous in his work, and we kind of make imperfect pieces in that they're a little bit beat up and they're all a little bit different, which is funny. So he could build the cupboards, and then we looked around and it was like, all right, well, who's going to paint them? And I was like, well, I guess that's me. I will do it. No painting experience ever. I mean, I always like art class, but I was like, let's just dive in, learn it. And it took me years to figure out what paints I wanted to work with, what finishes I wanted to do, how I wanted it to look. So many years and a lot of hard work. These hands I still do a few pieces today, and that's all I can do because my hands just get worn out and tired and achy. But that's just kind of how we just dove in head first. And did I know marketing and sales and all the things? Nope. Because I think I maybe took one business class in college, but learning the ins and outs, and especially when you build products and you're figuring out costs and you're figuring out all the little details of it. Sometimes I look back, which I think you should look back too, and look back at how far you've come. And then you realize how much you did accomplish in all those years. A lot of stories, a lot of learning experiences. But I wouldn't have it any other way, because I just think you got one shot at life, right? And you might as well, at the end of the day, especially seeing my dad pass, and I'm just like, all right, go for it. Live life how you want to live it. Make it how you want to live it. That, to me, probably every day is the extra driving factor. You can live the life you want. You just got to go for it.
And it just kind of makes me think of what we were talking about before we hit record, where there's so many people that wait before they start the thing because they want to figure out every step before they start. But sometimes the majority of people, and we were talking about how we're both in this camp of just figuring it out as you go. And I'm just kind of curious what you can say about that, because I think that's so important for people to understand that concept of not knowing what's going to happen and having 25 steps.
For me, one of the big driving factors was I wanted to be able to work and be a mom at the same time. And I knew when I had my kids little and young, and I wanted to be there with them. I wanted to be there for them. So we would have days, weekends. We worked 7 days a week for a lot of years, because he would go out and build for a little bit, and then we'd flip-flop, and he would watch the kids. I would go out and paint. We just made our schedules work, and I would laugh because he would flick the lights if one of them needed to be fed or something. So that was always an extra goal. And that's what kind of pushed me through the fear and the unknowing of what's next, or the next step. Or it's like, the more you did stuff, the more you went to shows, talked to this business person, talked to that person, the more, I almost think of it too as a puzzle. And you're just kind of finding those pieces to put in. And the more you stay on the journey, the more you're going to learn, and the more you're going to get those puzzle pieces that start to fit together. And then you realize the big overall picture. And then if you really think about it, if we did know everything, that would be so overwhelming. If somebody gave you all of the secrets, all of it right away, or not even secrets, but all of the steps, like you said, all of the tasks, all of this, you would be so overwhelmed that you wouldn't even probably want to start. But if you just go about it in doing what you can do for today on your task list and moving forward, that adds up over time tremendously. And yeah, it's just a part of the process. Everybody wants business success overnight. They want to be the instant millionaire, and it just doesn't happen that way, even though it might seem like it does. But there's a lot of years of grind and hard work behind, I think, every business that you don't necessarily see or hear about, but it's there for sure. And there's just a lot of growing and a lot of just some identity shifts that you have to do within yourself to just keep getting to the next level and play the game, right? Every day is kind of a game. And you just kind of figure out how to play it that day.
Yeah. And I love how you said, number one, the game. I love that, because I was just thinking how that there's parts of this that is fun to get to know yourself more, and to tap into what those things are that get you to move and through things that are hard and scary. And you get to become more and more confident with the things that you can do the more you move through it. Whereas when you've reached it, it's not as fun anymore. You have to kind of figure out a new way to
yes.
find that fun.
Yes. How can I push myself to being uncomfortable right now?
Yeah.
Doing podcast.
Yeah. I remember after I exited my business, I was looking at different things. And I don't know if you heard of 29, I think it's 29. Jesse Itzler runs some mountain that you go up 12 times.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was like thinking of doing that because I had nothing to climb for. And I'm like, oh, I want to do that. Then I started doing the thing, and now I'm doing all kinds of stuff now. So I'm like, oh, I don't need to do that right now. I have this. But it is fun to want something and then to feel that struggle as you're going through it.
Yeah. Yeah. And knowing that uncomfortable feeling is okay. I mean, granted, it doesn't feel great, but you're going to be okay. Ultimately, it's getting used to getting comfortable with being uncomfortable and learning how to push yourself through that, I think, has been the biggest thing. And then just knowing deep down, no matter what, you're going to be okay. Make the post put the thing out there, because what's that question people ask? Did you die? You post it, but are you still alive? Oh, okay. All right. Then everything's good. What's the worst case scenario, right? And then there's the internet trolls, which in the beginning used to like not want to post because it's like, I'm going to offend somebody. And it's like, I've battled with that going back and forth because I'm like, if I say something, it's going to offend this person. But then I'm like, but then again, then you just don't say anything at all. And how could I be me if I can't even? So yeah, you just gotta go with it. And no, you're not going to please everybody. Not everybody's going to be your customer, and that's okay. Not everybody's going to like what you're doing or care about what you're doing, and that's fine. There's plenty of people for what you do want to do. There is an abundance, there is an audience for everybody. And I think what's really cool is now with businesses, it's more about the connection you have with your audience and being able to be real and honest with them and put yourself out there with them to be like, I am human. This isn't a robot business. I have a fly that is just bugging me. So your video is going to be like this. What is she doing? It is beautiful. It's a gorgeous darn day. And somehow it's trapped in here. Anyway, keeping it real. Like, what is it? But yeah, so I do believe deep down, like, just move through the uncomfortableness, push yourself through. You're going to be okay. It's just life. And I think there's always going to be problems that arise. There's always going to be good days and bad days, but it's just building your character. And it's just kind of building your story even more.
It reminds me of that quote where a book would be boring if there was no turns and twists as you're reading it. How boring would that book be?
Seriously. Yeah. I think about it too. Like if life was perfect, it would be boring. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I'd love to hear about the customers that you serve. Do you hear from them and how they like the pieces, or what's that interaction been like for you?
Yeah. So we still have people that have been with us since the beginning, and they still have some of the very first pieces that we've ever made, which has been awesome to see and talk and hear about. They still use them, still love them. It's kind of neat to be a part of everybody's home in a way. It's just spreading our love into their homes. So we have great customers. They love family businesses. They love that we're a husband and wife team because every day's an adventure. I was just laughing because I was having fun with him today, bugging him on purpose when we're in the same building, in the same shop. I'm calling him, ask him a question, and then he's in the middle of something. I get the answer, and then not even 2 seconds later, I call him again because I had another question. And instead of going down, I was just poking fun with him. And it's just like stuff like that we can do with each other. And then there's the days where you're like, somebody needs to go run an errand to just get away. But anyway, it's all good. So our customers they're people that just really care about their homes and just creating a beautiful life and creating a place where they feel peaceful. They take pride in decorating their home. They have fun with it. It's therapeutic for them. It's calming. It's almost like I think back to like when we were younger as kids, and remember used to like dream of, I'm going to have a home and I get to do all the things. Yeah. And then you get there one day and you're like, this is kind of cool. I can go by that. Yes, I can make that decision and you can decorate your space how you would like it. And for our customers, that's just one of the things that they really do love. And they love authentic pieces. They love the rustic beat up, the stressed look, which I say it's already well loved. It's already worn. And the good thing is that when you have little kids, right, they're not the cleanest or the neatest kids, right? I've had a lot of cars and trucks and stuff that have been slammed into the cupboards, but good thing we have a mix of art pieces and antiques and other things that have been well loved over the years. So really another scratch doesn't matter.
Yeah, I love the term well loved.
Yeah.
What's been the change now that you're going online? Is there any change in what you're doing besides them buying it online?
Yeah. So going online and figuring out, oh my gosh, shipping and figuring out what we can make and can offer and what makes sense and what is affordable for our customers. It's figuring all that out because at the end of the day, the business needs to work. Otherwise, there would be no business. So it's just trying to figure out what changes we need to offer and trying to grow our team, but growing it in a way. We have bootstrapped this company from the beginning and are still doing that. And it's trying to figure out what is the best way, the best path forward for us. We've had some part-time help we've hired and went that route, and then have also are working with other companies to help bring some of our designs to life, because we've had a lot of times where we've been so overwhelmed. And I remember long days of just, our kids would be in the shop with us all day long, and I would just be like, just a few more pieces, just a few more, right? And they're like, come on, come on, come on. And it's, for me, it's been in recent years of trying to make the change of, even though I was spending time with my kids, I really want to spend really focused, concentrated time with them. And especially when they're home on school break, on summer break, I want to work at shorter time slots so that I can really have those afternoons with them and go do the thing that they want to do. Because I'm like, all I have is these small windows of opportunity with them. So it's been interesting to kind of grow in that way, where it's been a little bit uncomfortable because I can't offer everything that we used to do, and it pains me. It really does. And I felt like I'm disappointing people or I'm letting them down. But at the same time, there's a lot of good people out there that are willing to help and helping bring more of our designs and creations to life, that I'm so thankful for, because then in turn, we can help put that back into the community. Because a second passion of mine is helping coach my daughter's softball teams. I love doing it. I love giving that time and energy to them and helping build these girls, their confidence. They're just, it's such a fun journey to be part of for them. And it was cool because I was at this, this is a story. I just thought I was helping coach actually one of their field hockey teams. And the one other lady was talking and was trying to get the girls to pay attention and this and that. And she was saying, one day you're going to have a boss, right? You're going to have to listen to this boss. And I stood back there and I was shaking my head like, no, you don't. You might not have a boss. And she looked at me and she was like, gosh. And she's like, you don't have a boss. I said, nope. I said, I am my boss. I am the boss. Like, so don't be in front of those girls. And I got chills in that moment because I'm like, man, if I can help inspire these, like the next generation of girls to be like, you can be leaders too. And you can build the business. You can run the company. You can go for it. It's kind of interesting how it's through this journey, right? And if I didn't start, it wouldn't have gotten to this point, but how that's all kind of coming full circle and being able to help give back. That's where my time goes. We contribute a portion of profits to help these organizations as well as home organizations. We do believe in being able to give back and pay it forward. And that's a huge part of why we do what we do too. I think we can just make this life a lot better for everybody in what we offer, and just being able to help these kids and show them. I'm hoping that it's stuck with maybe one of them that day to be like, well, I could be my own boss. Yeah, you can. Go for it, girl. I love giving that to them. Give them the confidence.
Isn't it amazing? Because you could talk all day about telling kids to do that, but until you're doing the thing and then you can talk about it, it's a whole nother impact that you're having on them just by you going through the uncomfortable, pushing through the hard times, and now you can speak about it, and that's how they're able to learn.
Absolutely. Absolutely. When they're crying about it, complaining about a drill, and I'm like, oh, if this is your, I tell them, like, you can do hard things. You can do it. You can do it. And once you get past that, then you go on to the next hard thing, right? Whether or not it's hard or not, it all depends on how you look at it. So yeah, it's been really rewarding, and it's something that I look forward to every day. It's a lot of fun. I do. There's not a day that I wake up and I dread, because I get to do what I love. Family business. We decided long to do it, like not even knowing that we would start with this, with furniture and all this stuff. And I just, at the end of the day, it was like, I just want to have family business, be able to work together, do this, raise a family. And it's just, that's kind of always been the outline. And the details kind of work themselves out. So if that helps anybody to just encourage you, just have the overall concept of what you want out of life and what path you want to go, and just start taking action that way. And everything else is going to line up. Everything else is going to fall into place. Even the times where it's a setback, which maybe it's not a setback. Maybe it's just is what it is, right? There's been so much. I could talk about this subject all day long.
It's almost like you need a podcast for it.
Yeah. That would be great. That would be the stupid thing that I need to do.
We're implanting it right here.
Yeah. Manifesting it.
Yeah.
Realize it.
I would love to hear what your goal is now that you've achieved that, where you're living this dream of you being able to be with your kids and you have the business and it's going well. What's your goal now with Red Fox Primitives?
The goal is to continue to grow it. I feel like we still have only hit a small portion of the population, and it's only going to go up from there. I do see it as I want it to be a household brand, a really big household name, but also keeping the family business aspect of it. And that we thought about it, however big we go, if we need help in growing, what does that look like? I don't know. I mean, it could possibly be something. If it gets big enough, do we need, I don't know. It could be, it could be we sell it. It could be we sell some of it. It could be, I don't know. Because we still have other ideas and other things we want to get working on, which is exciting because in business, there's a lot of different avenues. And as everybody knows with life, changes come, right? Everybody's changing constantly. And sometimes you get that next idea, that next thing you want to do, and it's time to let go of maybe what you were doing before and move on to that next thing. So it's going to be an interesting year because I said to myself last year, this next year, I don't want to feel like we're in the same place that we are this year. I want to make a change to be at a completely different spot, right? Something has to happen here. And that's what kind of moves me to put myself into a new community, which can be scary and all the things. And when you think about the possibility of could you sell your business, and I'm like, that's a huge undertaking as well. We do love this business, but at the same time, we're like, well, maybe there is the next step on our journey could look a little bit different. And that's okay. And if it makes sense for our family and for us, especially as a husband and wife, we're always considering family first, what works for us, because that's what matters over anything overall is taking care of our family and keeping us all on the same page and being able to grow together as we go through the journey of life.
Yeah, I think it's amazing for people to see that just knowing that you're not stuck on any idea, you're just keeping all your options open so that you're making the best choices for you and your family and you're not making it for anyone else. And I think that is really important because I think it's so easy to get stuck in whatever it is we're doing, even though we're doing something extraordinary. It's so easy to get, I'm thinking of Jimmy Darts talking about that idol thing in the conference that we went to. And I think it's a really cool way that you're looking at it, where you're just keeping your options open.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And then that's something that I probably wouldn't have been open to years ago. And then you go through the growth and you're just like, maybe that is an option, right? And maybe it would be for the better. And you watch all the Shark Tanks and the TV shows that are like that. And you're like, that's interesting. It just, I don't know. And it's also exciting too, because you don't know the possibilities. Like, I really don't know how big this could get. It could get huge. I don't know. And that's the exciting part of life too. It's like, you just truly don't know how far it could go. That's a cool part too. And that's a cool thought to have. Just, I don't know. I kind of wake up every day like, this could be the best day ever. I don't know what today holds. Yeah.
Okay, I'd love to hear what would be your number one piece of advice for the listeners on doing the thing.
Just take action. And as scary as that might be, and let's even clarify that. Let's say imperfect action. Not even, it doesn't have to be, it could be messy, it could be ugly, it could be whatever. You just have to do the thing. And that's advice I still give to myself when I am scared to do something, or for a long time, I was like, it had to look perfect. Everything had to be, the website had to be like all this stuff. And now I'm just like, yeah, it's okay. If I send out an email and there's a spelling error or the link doesn't work or something, it's going to be okay. But just taking action, staying curious about the what if. Sure, you can be like, what if this goes wrong, blah, blah, blah. But then it's like the opposite. Like, what if it does? What if it goes right? What if everything does fall into place? I'd rather lean on that side than the opposite. And that just comes by just continuing to put yourself out there in whatever you want to do. Keep reaching for it. Go for it. What did they say? Gosh, the quote, it's just about, I've heard it. You've heard it too. The most successful companies and successful businesses are the ones that probably have the most failures. Like the people that have gotten the furthest had more failures than anybody because they're willing to just keep going, put themselves out there. And no matter what, you get back up, right? It's like a baby crawling. That baby wants to walk. Well, they keep falling, right? And they don't stop. And eventually you're going to walk. Kind of what I tell our girls when they're practicing. It's repetition, reps. And the more you do it, the more you're going to build the habits, the more you're going to have that muscle memory to be able to do the thing, to be able to perform. It's so true in so many ways. And yeah, even the journey of, granted, I don't think my mindset right now was as strong as it was when I first started, right? But I have built up through all the journey and the lessons and everything and the action taking to get to this point, to be able to look at things a little bit differently, but in a good way. And I think it helps a heck of a lot. And I know that even when I talk with people and even customers or this or that, it's fun to kind of have conversations with them and get their wheels spinning I can usually turn it into, I really look for the positives in life, even on the craziest of days. Just go for looking for those little lights of positive, the little things that did go right and just build on them.
I'd love to hear what's coming alive for you right now after our conversation today.
What's coming alive? I don't know, maybe a podcast. We'll see. I love listening to them, honestly, whether or not it's on a walk or if I'm working, then I can just pop something in, listen to it in the car rider line when I'm picking up the kids from school, which is my favorite thing to do. I really love hearing people's stories. I love hearing transformations. I love talking about business and marketing. And I also love talking about sports. And I also love hearing from our customers about their homes and their stories and connecting with them. So I don't know, it might just be a culmination of all of that. Wrapped up into one. I'm hoping to see if I can just shed some light and extra brightness into somebody's day and share stories, good and bad.
Yeah. Well, hearing you talking, I'm thinking, and we could talk about this more another time, but even if you just started your podcast and you called it It's Katie, and that's the name, and it's sponsored by Red Fox Primitives, then you could bring in your customers and you could do interviews and do sports and do everything. And that's a good starting point. And then just kind of see where it goes from there. That might be fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, it's a great idea.
Well, let me know. I can always help you get started for sure. And please share with everyone where they can find out about you, buy a product, and all the good stuff.
Sure. So you can find us on our website. It's redfoxprimitives.com. I know it's a long title, but it's worth it, I promise. And then you can also find us on Facebook and Instagram at Red Fox Primitives. And we got the TikTok channel going. YouTube has slowly but surely been going. So you can we would love if you would just like and follow. And if you love something, we would love to ship it to you. But just follow along on our journey and you can watch as we go and navigate this next phase of life with family and business. And yeah, it's just, and if I can help you in any way, help encourage you throughout your journey, I would love to do that too.
Thanks so much for doing this with me. This was so fun. It was so great to get a chance to get to know you better too.
Sure. Yeah, I love this. And I love what you're doing for people. And I think everybody needs that encourager and that cheerleader to be like, no, you can do this. Even on those days where you think, I can't do this. No, you can. You need somebody. You need to visualize somebody screaming to you. You got this. You can do it. I think everybody needs that encouragement. I know I still do some days. You just need that. So I really love what you're doing for people to help them bring out of their comfort zone. I think some come out more easily than others, and some people need that extra kick to no, let's get going here.
Yeah, I had a huge connection point the other day where it's been about comfort zone for me, but now I'm like, why comfort zone? It's because it helps you get to know yourself better when you get out of your comfort zone and you do hard things. And I think you spoke to that today where you're getting to know yourself even better as you're tackling all these new things that you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, 100%. 100%.
And for the listeners, do the thing. Don't wait for opportunity. Create it.